Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here on October 31st at 5:30 in the afternoon Eastern Time. Now that's kind of a grim sight, isn't it? Here, let me give you a closer look here. See, that's my modem, and of the four lights, there's only one light that's blinking, and that's the one that says Internet. And it's one of the two that should remain steadily lit while the other two blink a bit, from time to time. Well, no, the two of them are steady and two of them blink. And what happened this morning was we had, at 7:40, we had a power outage. It sort of, it was like, oh, click here, click on, click off briefly, and then the thing just went out, and okay, so I fired up my generator here, so we had that covered, and that ran for 5.2 hours, and then the power came back on. But the internet did not come back on. See here, check out my ceiling in my garage there. There you go. Just don't fall on my generator. Or my tractor.
Well, I haven't figured out why that fell.
Well, I think the house shifted, Paul. I mean, it does. These things do. And it's very clear the house shifts. All we got to do is look down in our basement. We got things bulging out. So, fired up the generator, went down through the transfer switch, and so about 1:30, quarter to 2, we started getting a moderately heavy rain. Now it's lightened up just a bit, but so we're having a nice little rain shower here right now. So this is Paul's day off. Now he has tomorrow off as well. And then, without the internet, we're pretty adrift. Now, as I had mentioned, the internet didn't come back on when the power came back on, and so then I reported it to Time Warner Cable. And of course, you have to go through the phone, voice activated nonsense. You just can't talk to a real person. And reported it as being out, and they said, oh, there's a generalized internet outage in your area, or cable outage, internet outage in your area. Fine, okay. So we're working on it, fine. So along around a little bit before 4, a little bit after 4, they called back. They said, "Do you want us to call you when it's back on?" I said, "Sure." And given the way my answering machine's set up, we just caught the tail end of it. But they seemed very chuffed about having things back in service, so I took that to mean things were back on. Well, it turned out things weren't back on. And of course, you're doing all the reset stuff and the plug, unplug, hit the thing to reset, disconnect this, reconnect that. To no avail. So then I called finally about 5-ish, a little bit before 5. I called them again, and I, you know, without having a stroke, I finally got through to somebody who was actually, you know, technical support. And he allowed us how indeed my modem was indeed not working. Yeah. You know, had I done all the maneuvers? Yes, I'd done all the maneuvers. Yeah. So apparently, at least, you know, I will say that generally when you have a problem with these guys, they do tend to come out fairly promptly. So tomorrow, between 10 and 12, I've got the cable guy coming out for the fourth time since it was installed just about a year ago today, or a year ago 2 weeks ago. So that's what we have to look forward to tomorrow. Well, I mean, ideally we have to look forward to tomorrow is that somebody will come out and fix this thing. I hope this thing didn't fry the modem. Now, you know, the other stuff connected to this surge protector, these guys weren't fried. They've been working fine during the day, rest of the day here. So, you know, what I'm afraid is going to happen is they're going to say, "Oh, this modem doesn't work anymore. You're going to have to get a new modem." Now, see, I own this modem. I bought it from Insight Cable when Insight's been taken over by Time Warner. And so I own this modem. I paid like $120 for it. And, but see, Time Warner won't sell you a modem. It wants you to rent the modem for $5, increased at their discretion each month. I mean, $5 a month. So what I'm afraid is my cable bill is now going to climb from 50 to 55. See, it started at 45, then they raised it anyway just for the heck of it. And I'm afraid it's going to climb now to 55 because they're going to say my modem doesn't work. Now, well, something doesn't work because it's not, I'm not on the internet. So that's pretty much occupied my time today. Now I did read most of The Economist, and yeah, that's about it, really.
On the journal.
Well, no, I didn't read. Oh, I did. Oh, and I read. Oh, that's right. I read most of a New England Journal. I could show you this picture here. Hang on a minute. Now, what I wanted to show you guys was this thing I read in the Wall Street Journal today. Boy, the Wall Street Journal would be a lot more interesting if they had this. This is a picture of a fellow's behind in the New England Journal of Medicine here this last week. I'm trying to keep the glare off. And he's got what's called a very severe case of dermatophycosis. Now, dermatophytes are things like ringworm and jock itch and, athlete's foot and, stuff in your hair, scalp itch, that kind of stuff. And if you have a certain kind of genetic deficiency, then this is what results. This is not a salubrious situation to be in. Here's this man's foot as well, so he's gotten kind of a double whammy. Yeah, that's a grim situation there, and as grim as that is, this is an even grimmer one, clearly. Wow. So, beware the jock itch. Beware the athlete's foot, guys. Alrighty now. Bye-bye, YouTubers.